We'll try to make sure that they do have a time to caucus before voting block. And at that time, if there are amendments, we will consider the resolution with amendments and without amendments. And if the amendment passes, we vote on it separately. If the amendment passes, it's automatically added on to the resolution. Yes.
So do you vote on the resolution, and if that passes, then you vote on each of the amendments, or you vote on the amendments?
Well, so you first vote on the amendment.
Yeah.
And if the amendment passes, it automatically gets added. But if it doesn't pass, you vote on the resolution as it is now, and then you vote on the resolution as it is amended. And then if it wins as amended, then it's part of it.
We do consider the amendments separately, and if it fails, it's not added onto the resolution, and we just vote on the resolution as it was originally. So, yeah.
So what is the final result? You ultimately, do the secretary decide which one is proposed? Like, is it whoever can get most people to agree with them? How is it?
It's majority vote. So everything that we vote on will be majority vote. If the majority of you guys pass it, then it's added on. The amendment is added on to the resolution. So it's ultimately up to you guys, and whichever side is more persuasive, which is what we'll end up.
Which is why that's the whole point of your speeches and stuff like that. You're in your speeches and in your caucusing, you're trying to persuade the other countries that this resolution is what you think is best or you don't think it's best. So say, back to the Coke and Pepsi, say that the person who says Pepsi is better is really persuasive and you all think that it actually is better. That was the whole point. The point is your speeches, your caucusing, you're trying to persuade everyone that this is the right thing to do. And so then that is reflected in the voting block. So say if Pepsi, as I said before, was very persuasive, hopefully that would reflect in the voting that most of you guys would agree with them that Pepsi is better, and then the resolution would fail because they think that Pepsi is better not.
Or it would pass with an amendment stating that Pepsi was not better than Coke.
So everyone has equal vote.
Yeah.
Are the powers the same as the Security Council though? Because General Assembly can't do certain things.
Right. Yeah. We there's no veto power or anything with the Big Five. Everyone has a veto vote.
In terms of what types of resolutions can you pass mandates to use force or like?
No. Yeah. This is. We're assuming that this is the Security Council, that this is General Assembly, so most of these aren't resolutions using brute force. So.
Yeah, and just keep that in mind when you're writing your amendments. None of the resolutions currently ask anything of the Security Council, but just keep in mind that as General Assembly, we're restricted to recommendations and asking countries to do things. We can't actually send in troops or enforce things like that.
What is a caucus?
Okay, so a caucus it's when you're going to get your groups together. So for this conference, it's going to be your interest group, and that's just informally talking about the issue. So it's like a little discussion group.
Yeah. So two groups?
There will be 4 groups based on, say, based on your interests, like say it's like Arab nations or EU nations, things that have similar interests and agree on the same policies for the most part.
And this is not, you won't have to give speeches or anything, this is just informal. You'll get in a group and you'll be able to present your ideas just on a whoever speaking basis. There's no formality to it. And this, I would say, is one of the most important parts, because without this formality, you can just really sit there and talk to other people and try to convince them to your point of view.
Will the caucus groups be moderated or unmoderated?
They're going to be moderated because there'll be one of us there'll be one secretariat in each group. So they'll be moderated in the sense that we'll be there, but they'll be able to have more of a freer discussion than they would when they're all in the same room.
I think somebody asked a similar question, but throughout the process, if there's a need of somebody.
Oh, sorry, can you say that again?
Yeah, there seems to be. I think somebody brought up this question before, and I wasn't sure if we clearly addressed this issue. But if aside from the formal caucus times, if any delegates feel the need to have an informal discussion with each other, they can move to have a brief recess or something like that to
that in the past. And because this is kind of more of a learning conference, I don't think we're gonna do that this year, but the formal caucus will be the time when they'll be able to, go
You
ahead.
get to experience that on Saturday night. So
Okay.
you have
Yes.
more of the informal caucuses, the informal discussion groups among whichever action group you want to put together.
Yeah.
The experience will be there, it'll be there as part of Saturday.
And I just want to add, if as a country you feel you need to talk directly to another country, this is where note passing comes into play. You can write notes and then you just raise them up and we'll collect them, just make sure that they're on topic, and then we'll send them to the other country. So that's another way to stay in direct contact with the country without having to make a speech or or have a caucus, basically.
You ready?
Yeah, so quick question, is everybody clear on what a caucus is?
No.
Yeah, everybody's clear? Everybody not clear? Okay. Because I think it's an important part in terms of, the conversation. It's kind of like this is our block of countries that all agree with the same basic idea in self-interest for our countries, correct?
Right.
And then that's what we want to be moving forward.
Right.
Once we get to.
Yeah, it's definitely a very,
So it's, okay.
yeah.
All I'm clear.
Yeah.
In prior years, on the Sunday session, we have had, I don't know what the procedural description of it was, but there's been a motion made to go into a 10-minute unmoderated caucus, and is that going to be continued in this session? Because that's when the countries get together
Right.
and kind of talk.
Yeah, like right before voting block or something.
Yeah.
We would definitely entertain that possibility, just depending on I think it all depends on time, if we're running late or if we end up having a lot of time. That could definitely be a possibility, and it'll just depend on what the delegates think it will be best for them. But yeah, we definitely entertain that possibility.
Good job, you guys.
Yeah. So